Equipment options. So the benefits on a flexi tank is that you have global availability. So we can, in principle, load a couple of weeks after you give us the order. You have a cost advantage. You can move these on road, rail, and ocean transport, so it provides you a lot of flexibility, and it's a single use. So flexi tanks normally is recyclable. So you can recycle it, and then the container can go back to the port. Right? The limitations, in a flexi tank, you are not allowed to put spirits, because then it becomes flammable when you put it in those big volumes. Technical support. It's important that you have some kind of a company or logistics company that can help you with technical support, because if there is an issue, then you need to be able to assist on it. We've had situations where the shipping line, they are part of our supply chain and we have to work with them, but they may put a container in Manzanillo for a couple of weeks, and there may be a problem with the container that, let's say, is leaking or something. Then we have to attend it, and we need to make sure that we can cross-pump it into a new flexi tank and take it into the market. These type of things we need to be able to do on a global basis so we can bring the product to final destination. So technical support is super important in our business, and we train suppliers that are not used to working with flexi tanks or importers that are not used to working with flexi tanks. We train them in accordance to how you load, what you need to do, what you cannot do. So that's part of our business. Just mentioned 15 to 24,000 liters is what we normally see, but it goes all the way down to 10, 13,000 liters as well. It's just not common because it's not as cost effective, obviously. ISO tank. These we see a lot in the spirits business. So the positives here, you can move spirits up to 26,000 liters. In the US, we don't use 26,000 liters because of road restrictions. So we mainly use 24,000 liters. It's a lot easier to load and unload these than a flexi tank. You can also get these temperature control, which sometimes we see in the beer business. So we're actually moving beer in temperature controlled ISO tanks. So it's happening now in the craft beer, and then bottle it at destination. And we reuse these. So we run a fleet of 600 ISO tanks. The challenge is you take an ISO tank from Scotland with whiskey and you take it to Montreal, then now what do you do with it, right? Then we fill it up with rye and then we send it to Australia. There's no spirits going from Australia back to Europe, so either we take it back empty or we ask one of the wineries, could we put wine in this instead of a flexi tank and we give you a discount, we bring it back to Europe. So this is a little bit complex when it comes to equipment that's reusable, because you got to send them all around the world, where the flexi tank, it's a one-way product, so it makes it very flexible, right? So limitations, availability, repositioning, cleaning and contamination. You need to make sure that you know how to clean an ISO tank so it can be reused again next time. Obviously, these are all food grade. We only move food-graded products in them, but still, there is a process behind it. We had a conversation the other day. If it's kosher, then it has to be cleaned in a different way. So there's a lot of management and control of moving ISO tanks. So there's a per diem cost. So this is something that we manage, obviously, in accordance to moving them around. And then they are higher cost price compared to the flexi tank. 15 years ago, a lot of people were moving wine in ISO tanks and they didn't trust the flexi tanks. So there has definitely been a twist towards the flexi tank business taking over from the ISO tank business when you look at the wine business. If there's any questions in these, then just raise a hand. It's open forum. Totes. John was mentioning that the young millennials, they want more new products. They want to try something different. We are seeing this as well because we constantly are asked, can we just import 1,000 liters because we want to test it? And this is, we want to put it on kegs, we want to put it in cans, we want to put it in 500 milliliter bottles. We see this a lot now. And this is, it's a difficult product to manage in terms of the logistics, because nobody wants to own these totes. So in principle, the suppliers say, okay, we can buy them, but then you're going to be stuck with the tote when it arrives to destination, right? So this is a little bit of a challenge. But we see it happening today because people want to test it. People want to do sangria in kegs, or they want to do sangria in cans. So we see actually a lot of this stuff coming into the East Coast where people are playing with new products. We see these now also coming in different types of qualities. So you can get a tote from $200 all the way up to $1,500, and you can get it as a steel tote. You can put spirits in it, et cetera, et cetera. We mention here non-hazard liquids because the totes that we really see in our industry that comes from wineries are the standard totes. So we say quality concerns, that's just what we hear. But it is more difficult to control these because nobody is taking ownership of it. Nobody is saying, we're going to clean it like this. This is the process to clean it. We're going to bring it into our facilities. So it's just a little bit harder to manage.